Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to join us for the webinar, Innovators Run on the #1 Cloud ERP. So here's the agenda for today. After a quick round of introductions, I will provide an overview about NetSuite and what we believe is the state of the business today and NetSuite's value proposition to you. After that, our guest speaker, Calvin Jackman, controller at version 1, will provide details into specific decisions that his company made about migrating from Intact to NetSuite and how it's impacted his company. Calvin will also share some best practices with you. This will be followed by a product demo by Matt Monahan of NetSuite, after which we will open it up for Q&A. And please submit your questions as we go along, and if we are unable to get to your question, I assure you that someone from NetSuite will get back to you soon. So let's get started. Here are the presenters. Calvin Jackman is currently the controller at version 1, a SaaS-based agile project management and DevOps solutions company. Calvin is a CPA and has more than 25 years of broad leadership experience in finance, accounting, and operations in both public and private companies. Previously, Calvin was the CFO and controller at various software and service companies in the telecom, food service, computer rental, lease, and distribution industries. Calvin has implemented NetSuite 3 times over the past 10 years. Welcome, Calvin. Matt Monahan is a solutions consultant at NetSuite. Matt has over 8 years' experience in accounting and finance. Prior to NetSuite, Matt was a controller at Janrain, a customer identity management solution provider. Prior to that, Matt was a senior accountant and then a controller at RYU, Respect Your Universe, a global athletic apparel brand. Matt was also a senior audit associate at KPMG. Matt is a past customer of NetSuite and has experienced benefits and the power of the platform from the other side as well. Welcome, Matt. And my name is Anand Mishra. I'm in product marketing at NetSuite. I've been with NetSuite for over 3 years now, and my responsibilities include messaging and positioning through white papers, presentations, website content, and sales collateral. I have 14 years of experience, and prior to joining NetSuite, I held product marketing and product management positions at ADP, Thomson Reuters, Wolters Kluwer Financial Services, and a couple of startups. So assuming some of you who do not know who we are, NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP company. The metrics on your screen validate our position as the #1 provider of cloud ERP. From the beginning, we have been in the cloud and are the pioneers in cloud business management solution. We support businesses of all sizes, ranging from startups and emerging companies to public companies to some of the largest global enterprises. We are also the fastest growing financial management platform in the world. We have over 30,000 organizations all running on the same version of the product globally. A large percentage of the IPOs over the past few years in North America were NetSuite customers. And we have a proven, reliable, and scalable solution, and our ability to execute at these growth levels has been proven over many, many years now. So here is a sample list of our customers, ranging from global enterprises to disruptors to companies of all sizes across all industries, and this is just a sample list. State of the business today. So here's what we have learned from our experience. Nobody or very few companies want to replace their existing systems, but everyone is trying to grow. Everyone wants to or needs to change, but they all need to move fast or risk being wiped out by their competition. And this is happening in every single industry. Companies need to think and operate like startups, but their opportunities are global. They have to be responsive and nimble, or they run the risk of being quickly disrupted. Data is a huge weapon and is becoming more important every day with emerging trends like the Internet of Things and big data. And in today's world, every company is and needs to be thinking like a cloud company. And as you all know, there's a massive movement in our industry to move to the cloud. And being the leader and the driving force in this trend, NetSuite can help you transform your business and stay ahead of the curve. Let me actually talk quickly about a few examples about NetSuite customers. So Lyft is currently running NetSuite to help change transportation. Snapchat is running NetSuite to change how we communicate. GoPro is running NetSuite to change how we capture memories and experiences. And BlackBerry is implementing NetSuite to survive and transform their business. And there are many such examples in every single market and every industry. And you will hear shortly how version 1 is leveraging NetSuite to grow and improve its business. So the bottom line is that you cannot address today's challenges in constant state of change if your business systems look like this, either now or in the future. We talk to many, many businesses, and we see most people nodding their head when we put up this slide. It is difficult to introduce new modules and systems to remain competitive, as the existing systems are just inflexible and cannot be easily integrated to, or have different technologies and are stuck on old versions due to customization. Your IT team is in a constant state of integration to try and give you at least a view into what happened last month, and finance is forced to resort to manual processes and calculations just to be able to close books each month. No one has the bandwidth to spend on strategic initiatives because of the burden of simply maintaining what you have in place. And through no fault of your own, you've ended up with these systems that make it near impossible to embrace the changing business environment of today. So what you need instead to stay competitive in today's world is a modern system that is designed more holistically around all your business processes. Here are the 5 pillars to our success. I mean, they may not look like pillars just now, but just visualize for a few seconds. To start off, at the center is the most comprehensive global cloud ERP system. Secondly, we go to market and differentiate ourselves with the strongest platform in the industry, with purpose-built industry applications, which is the third pillar of our success. Fourth, we have incredible commerce capabilities, all surrounded by business intelligence, which is made possible by our unified data model, which is our fifth pillar. This is what makes us unique as we help our customers grow revenues, open up new markets, launch new business models, and grow their bottom line. So what is driving this growth, and why are businesses choosing to build with NetSuite? It basically comes down to these 5 tenets, which I will cover in the next few slides. So NetSuite is designed for a modern business. It is built ground up as an easy-to-use cloud solution and transforms both the accessibility of your systems as well as the capabilities that it delivers to your organization. All of our customers are on the same version of the product with access to the latest and the greatest. We have 2 major releases a year with virtually no downtime. NetSuite provides advanced end-to-end functionality across several areas: ERP, financials, CRM, e-commerce, and PSA, and you will see shortly a glimpse into the power of NetSuite when Matt demos the system. Having over 30,000 organizations on the same version of the product means that we are constantly innovating and improving the product for our customers. With our one-world solution, you can drive global expansion because we extend the idea of a single data model globally around which everyone can transact from anywhere in the world. You can transact in any currency, in a local language, with any taxation, so you get local control together with a consolidated global view of your business in real time. Our customers benefit from our rich ERP features ranging from areas such as financial management, supply chain, order management, inventory and warehouse management, services resource planning, procurement, CRM, and a lot more. With all this at their disposal, customers do not need point solutions such as Intact or QuickBooks for different business areas. Additionally, while delivering rich ERP functionality, we are also investing in next-gen capabilities. Unified billing, RevRec, advanced order management, omnichannel commerce are examples of the capabilities that we have added recently. The bottom line is NetSuite provides many features within the application that you would expect only to get from a best-of-breed solution, and we are constantly innovating to bring you the best. Here's a look at our scalability. And this is not a lab project or some testing. This is reality. This is on a real platform and not just supporting simple accounting entries, but large number-crunching processes like planning, billing, e-commerce transactions, etc., across the entire spectrum of ERP processes. No one else comes close to us with these numbers. So moving on to the platform, the NetSuite platform offers unparalleled levels of personalization, customization, and development. And the backbone of the NetSuite platform is our infrastructure. On top of the infrastructure is the NetSuite platform, which provides all the tools required to extend and integrate NetSuite. In fact, we use this very platform to develop all the applications that our customers use. The great thing about NetSuite platform is that all of the customizations are maintained and carry forward to future releases. It is how we avoid the hairball nightmares our competitors create and how we always keep every customer on the same version. Developers can build full-fledged applications that extend NetSuite to address their specific business needs. These are called Suite apps. And with Suite apps, NetSuite customers gain an online marketplace where hundreds of innovative third-party solutions and data management tools help integrate and extend NetSuite with industry-specific solutions. From a technology perspective, the three key aspects that are important to any business using a cloud solution are uptime, security, and scalability. NetSuite offers certifications and SLAs to guarantee these key components. We have world-class mirrored data centers with redundancy and data recovery plans. We provide industry-leading security, all the acronyms and the ISO 2001, PCI, EU Safe Harbor that you see on your screen, and we also guarantee uptime and have an impeccable track record. In fact, we list our uptime on our website. What does this mean for our customers? NetSuite delivers a reliable service that allows you to focus on business strategy rather than on infrastructure. The third pillar of our success is our unified data model, which is the key to enabling business intelligence the way companies need it today. Our unified data model allows customers to report and analyze their entire business end-to-end. It's all real-time with no need to build complex data warehouses with multiple moving parts that many other products require. NetSuite comes with hundreds of business intelligence components out of the box with predefined roles and dashboards that are centered around a user's day-to-day tasks. Users can expand these and fine-tune them to their own business requirements. Our intuitive experience not only drives the consumption of BI, but also helps users in day-to-day decision-making. The NetSuite user experience moves seamlessly from the browser to the mobile device so that users can get access to the most in-depth functionality from anywhere using any device. Our mobile and social approach to enterprise software goes beyond the post-PC world. You can check order status, inventory, approve POs, file your time and expense reports, and a lot more on your favorite mobile device. You can even collaborate globally across multiple teams with built-in social tools. Our fourth pillar of success is commerce. And our vision for commerce is providing the ability to interact with the company's entire ecosystem, your customers, partners, and vendors. We believe that digital commerce is for everyone and every industry, and it enables you to manage relationships with your business partners, customers, and prospects, whether they are buying, selling, supporting a product or a service. Lastly, build for your industry, which means that NetSuite is optimized for key industries. You will see software in the angle brackets on the slide, and you can insert other key industries such as manufacturing, wholesale distribution, services, retail, nonprofit, and several more, which are all available with appropriate functionality, reporting, KPIs, integrations, etc. What this means for you, quicker implementations, and rapid return on investment. With that, I would like to turn it over to Calvin, who is the controller at version 1, to present his case study. Calvin, please take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Calvin Jackman, and I'm the controller here at version 1. As Anat had said, I've implemented NetSuite 3 times, so hopefully I can give you a little insight on why version 1 made that decision. So version 1 is a pioneer in Agile project management and DevOps solutions, founded in 2002 here in Atlanta, Georgia. We do have a couple of branches, one in the Netherlands, one in the UK, and we're about to open a subsidiary in Canada. So we are worldwide. Our software is used with small companies and large companies throughout the world. And so we have a little bit of both and understand customers from both of those ranges. So what I'd like to do today it talked a little bit about the following 5 topics as they're related to our decision to use NetSuite. First is going to be business drivers, basically what was important to us. Second, the goals, what did we need to do? Third, moving to NetSuite, how we actually did it. 4, running on NetSuite, how did it work out for us? And the last one, some best practices that I've discovered over the years for you to ponder. So let's talk about business drivers first. So what was important to us was reliability. We have a lot of spreadsheets. They're hard to maintain. I'm sure all of you can understand that. And so from on a month-to-month basis, getting the board package together entailed a lot of overview and fact-checking between systems for us before we could send it out. Revenue recognition. We're a software industry. We sell both perpetual and subscription licenses, so we kind of need both kinds of software revenue recognition rules to be able to work for us. So, and we provide services to our customers. Close time, when I came on board a few years ago, we were at 10 days, and the goal for us was to decrease that. Worldwide access, we have employees all over the world, as I stated, and giving them the ability to get into the system to either put in expense reports or run reports that were relevant for their department or division was very important to us. And then complex projections. We do have a pretty complex rev rec and expense projection model that goes into a lot of detail by line item, a big personnel projection sheet. And we do a lot of rev rec projections based on input from various places, including our renewals team, our sales team, and our services team. So it's a lot more complex than you might think for the size of the company that we are at. So goals, what did we need to do? As I said before, we needed to reduce our close time, increase the reliability of the results and the projections through decreased use of spreadsheets, expand our reporting segments. We actually report a lot of different, our revenue and our results a lot of different ways based on the software maintenance, subscription, and services. We do a lot of analysis based on initial, additional, and renewal licenses. And we also sort of have 2 markets. We're in the corporate for us is the small companies versus enterprise large companies. So we like to track all that separately, and we need to report on that. Next, give management and employees better access to the budget, the results, and the projections. We don't want them to actually log into the system or on GL reports, so some of them would like to do that. But they do need a lot of dashboard information on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. We wanted to automate our business analytics, which was pretty much all in spreadsheets, and we were in the middle of converting into Adaptive, and we did want to have a direct interface to Adaptive so we could download our actuals and do all of our planning in Adaptive. And then a better ability to customize, download, and analyze our data, as I said before, the different ways that we like to look at data in this company. So moving to NetSuite, well, how did we do it? Well, one of the great things that helped everybody here, especially on the accounting team, is we were able to maintain our chart of accounts and just customize our reports in NetSuite, which is very easy to do. We did not bring over every single piece of information from our old system. We brought over our GL detail history and all of our open sales orders, AR, and AP. In a prior life, I brought over summary data on customers. We have it in this instance also where we can tell on each customer account what they've actually bought for us over time. We wanted to have imports being done easily in a CSV update file, which we're doing now. So we do import some information, but we also have an interface to Salesforce that brings over all of our opportunities, creates sales orders in our system, and then automatically produce our rev rec schedules, our deferred revenue, and then off into invoicing. We do have different types of invoicing. We do have some monthly invoicing, some quarterly invoicing. We also have services that's done differently than software. Software is usually billed up front on an annual basis. Services are usually billed as we perform them. We have billable expenses that we need to keep track of. So we have a lot of different places where we have data that need to go into the rev rec and the billing information. So running on NetSuite, so how did it work out for us? So we were able to reduce our close time from 10 days to 5 days, and that's all the way from closing the books and doing the projections with input from all those other people I've told you about before. We reduced dramatically the use of spreadsheets, probably cut them down by a factor of 5 by using our interface to Adaptive, where we're able to do not just our budgets and projections, but also to allow some direct input from our management team on where they see things going, and especially during the budget process. We're able to distribute that information and not have to sit there and key it into spreadsheets and give people spreadsheets to fill out. It's all pretty interactive for us. And then once again, better visibility to our management team and our employees. They're all entering expense reports online. We don't have to enter them manually anymore in the system. So cut down a lot on the time that we have. One of the byproducts of all that for us is the business keeps increasing, but the finance team pretty much stays the same. So we've probably grown 20% over the last each year or the last 2 years, but the finance teams remain static. So I always like to let people know that there's a lot of leverage in NetSuite, especially for the finance team, and a lot of information that goes to the rest of the company, more than they were given in the past. So what kind of best practices have I experienced that you might want to ponder for the future? So back to the conversion thing, bringing over all your data, while it seems like it'd be a great thing to have, you really don't use it so much. We still have our old system. We have one user, and as the months go on, you just use it less and less. I haven't been in there for probably a month and a half to 2 months now. And when I was, it was just for a really quick report to see something to compare. So think about the least amount of conversion that you can do that will help you. One of the other aspects of that is when you do a conversion, the worst part of conversion is there's a lot of data cleanup, and so the less you convert, the less you have to clean up. So those are always good things to ponder for me when I'm thinking about that. Moving from reports to dashboards, we do a lot here in dashboards. It's a lot easier for us to visually understand the information in a small subset than it is to try to look at all the detail. Great thing about NetSuite and Adaptive is we do have drill down capabilities, so if they do want to go see that detail, they can just click on the numbers. Analytics, we just so much dramatically decreased our projection and budget time with Adaptive and NetSuite together. Probably our budget will be kicking off shortly, and it'll take me, maybe a day or two to set it up. It used to take me probably about a week or two to set up. And then getting the information from everybody, having them input it into Adaptive directly versus trying to tie them down. We also will be able to see where everybody's at any point in time on their input versus everybody having to come ask me and me keep track of every single person on where they're at in the process. Analytics, we do have a lot of analytic information in our system. We're using employees and ratios, revenue per salesperson. We're using ARR, ACV, all the software acronyms that outside investors like to know where you're at. We're doing that automatically in the system. We don't have to manually compute that anymore. So, and the last thing is roles. NetSuite's really great on allowing people to see certain information but not others. So it's very important in that process that you set up your roles correctly for the individual users. So I think that's about a wrap for me, and we're going to be going on to Matt for the demo. Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name's Matt Monahan. I'm a solution consultant here at NetSuite. And introduced me earlier, but I just wanted to provide a little bit of brief background. As a former corporate controller of a growing company, I went from a lot of manual process and Excel spreadsheets on QuickBooks to then a lot of automated process in NetSuite. I then began working for another company as a controller who did not use NetSuite, and I found myself back in the same kind of dreaded manual processes that I had experienced before. So that experience made me realize how valuable NetSuite is, and is ultimately what led me to work for NetSuite today. All right. So you should be seeing NetSuite. This is the home dashboard. This is NetSuite. It's a system to run your business, and as such, throughout today's demo, you will see how NetSuite provides not only financial excellence, but also operational efficiency. All right. So I'm going to start here in the top right-hand corner. NetSuite is a roles-based system. You can see I'm logged in today under the role of a CFO. Roles really provide you with two main use cases. The first being that they're going to provide you with an element of internal control, in that every single role comes with a set level of permissions and restrictions, allowing you to access and use certain information throughout the system. NetSuite also provides you with the ability to deliver relevant information to the right people throughout your organization via roles. So you can see I'm logged in as a CFO. All this information here on my home dashboard is relevant to me as CFO. If I were an AR manager, I would want to log in and see information, maybe like an AR aging report, a list of past due customers. So really your role will determine the information that you're presented with within NetSuite. So with that, I wanted to touch on what you're seeing here on the home dashboard. Now, the home dashboard is really just kind of a compilation of portlets. A lot of user-defined activity here. You can drag and drop portlets across the screen. You can add new ones, but it's all real-time information relevant to your role, allowing you to make real-time decisions about your business. So instead of having to wait for a month-end reporting package, now you're simply logging into the system, getting a real-time view of your business, and able to make decisions essentially in real time. Okay, I wanted to start out, we talked about two themes, financial excellence and operational efficiency. I want to start out talking about financial excellence. So you can see here in the center of the screen, we have a couple of dashboard portlets really dedicated to your financial performance as a business. You can see the key performance indicators at the top. We see a nice snapshot into our company's sales, expenses, revenue, receivables, etc., in a comparative fashion. So you can see we're looking at the current month versus the previous month and the related variance analysis. These are completely definable by you, so if you wanted to see like a rolling six-month view, you absolutely could. If you wanted to see year over year, quarter over quarter, you absolutely could. Like Calvin mentioned, the drill down capability. Everything within these portlets is drillable. So if I'm a CFO and I want to know why my expenses have increased by 30% month over month here, I can simply drill into this figure. NetSuite's going to take me back to the income statement from which that figure was derived. From here, I can break this out by accounting period and really start to do some real-time variance analysis. I'm looking at an income statement month over month now, simply just by toggling through all these reporting dimensions and segments. NetSuite provides you with unlimited reporting dimensions and segments. Other systems are going to limit you to a specific number. We're going to give you the ability to create your own in an unlimited fashion. Okay. From here, everything else is drillable. So if I want to know why revenue is so much higher this month than it was last month, I can simply drill in. And now I'm looking at all of the detail behind that. You can get back all the way down to the source transaction level of detail. Because our platform is architected in a different manner than most, in that we are a single ledger, a single database. We can do things like real-time translation, real-time consolidation. So right now, you're looking at a consolidated financial statement in real time. If I wanted to, let's say, just take a look at my consolidated financials broken out by subsidiary, I can simply do that by selecting my subsidiary dimension, and now I'm looking at an income statement broken out by subsidiary in the consolidated reporting currency of U.S. dollars. Gives you a nice view into how each subsidiary is contributing to your business as a whole. If you wanted to see how the U.K. is doing, you can simply click on the U.K., drop down, and now you're looking at a U.K. income statement immediately translated into pounds via our real-time translation. Okay, oops. Coming back to the home dashboard here, another thing I wanted to call out, we've talked about financials, we talked a little bit about reporting, and really multi-subsidiary here. So this subsidiary navigator portlet really allows you complete control over how you view your dashboard. So right now we're looking at a consolidated view of our business. If I wanted to see my dashboard just for a specific entity, I can select the UK entity, and now my dashboard is immediately updated and translated to reflect the UK activity. So really a nice way, really in real time, to understand what's going on in each individual entity throughout your business. All right, we'll come back here to the consolidated reporting view. As we scroll down the dashboard, there's plenty other portlets that are really fall under that theme of financial excellence. You can see we have a lot of trend graphs here. These all can be exported, into Excel or PDF, dropped into a board deck, taken to a board meeting. All those things you're doing in Excel today that take time at month end, we're going to do them for you, and you're simply just going to be able to drop them into your decks. So just a lot of efficiency from that perspective as well. Okay. I wanted to move left here to the reminders portlet. So we talked about financial excellence. I want to spend some time talking about operational efficiency. NetSuite is the #1 global ERP according to Gartner, cloud-based ERP according to Gartner. That doesn't just mean that we are a system that has really nailed the financial side of things. We have, but we've also, because we're an ERP, we've also put a ton of R&D into the operational side of the system as well. And that's what you're seeing here. So reminders, you can really have as many as you like. These are all configurable by you, but you can leverage them to automate your day-to-day tasks by role. So as a CFO, I might be responsible for reviewing new contracts and approving them as they come in. So that's what this reminder is here. You simply drill into the link, and NetSuite takes you down to a list of sales orders or bookings that need to be reviewed prior to billing. So this is really how we manage day-to-day tasks via reminders. When it comes to billing, as Calvin mentioned before, they have several billing schedules, monthly, quarterly, annually. You might have custom contracts where a customer requires you to bill 20% of it up front and then 80% of it on a specific day. NetSuite gives you the ability to create as many custom billing schedules as you need to accommodate that in order to ensure that you never miss an invoice. So that's what this reminder is here, sales orders to bill. You're going to have schedules assigned to your sales orders that prompt you to invoice them. And invoices can be scheduled to go out automatically as well. Moving down the list here, I really wanted to talk about one that was very important for me as a former controller, of a software company where you have, really time-based contracts. Maybe you have a one-year contract that renews every year. Getting visibility into when those contracts are up for renewal is huge, not only for your sales staff, but for finance as well. Finance needs to be able to forecast renewals. As Calvin mentioned earlier, we need to be able to forecast our cash collections in order to meet cash requirements as well. So this reminder, as we drill in, we can see this is simply what NetSuite calls a saved search or a query. This is a user-defined query that is searching for all contracts that are scheduled to expire within this fiscal quarter. So this reminder can be used to not only alert finance, but it also can be used to alert your sales staff or even customers themselves. They might not realize that they have a contract coming up for renewal. So coming into the back end here, this really highlights the power of NetSuite as an operational system. You can use this for really any use case. I'm using the use case of contracts. But you can see we've set the criteria. This is going to return results for any contract that is a new or renewal contract that is set to expire within this quarter. We can see the results it's providing us. But what I wanted to really highlight is the notifications. So under this email tab, we can have NetSuite automatically send email reminders based off of the results of this query to specific individuals. So under this sub-tab, you can see we're actually sending an email reminder to not only our sales rep to remind them to go renew this business so that we can invoice it, but also to the customer contact themselves. So now, they're getting a proactive email reminder, hey, customer, you have a contract that you need to renew. So both parties are notified and updated. You can specify the email template that goes out to that customer so that you look congruent as a business as notifications are being sent out. And then finally, scheduling. You can have these things scheduled to be sent out on a predefined frequency. So you can have them go, ad hoc, or you can have them go every Monday morning at 8 a.m. So just a lot of efficiency here around how your business operates. As a former controller in an environment where I wasn't using NetSuite, we had this very issue where we had contracts needing to be renewed. We had some very large enterprise customers. We were a startup-ish company, pre-profitable, and we had an account manager miss a renewal of $500,000. That was huge for our cash flow. We didn't get paid for another 6 months because of the process it took for us to raise a PO, the time it took for us to raise a PO and get paid. So that had a huge impact on our financials as a company. These reminders are huge not only for the finance side, but for the operational side of your business as well. Okay. I think that's really all I wanted to touch on with regard to the home dashboard. I quickly wanted to jump over to our Customer 360 record and really give you an idea, the back end side of the system and how you can get, a 360-degree view of your customers. So I'm just going to type in the name of the customer here, and I'm going to navigate to their customer record. What you're seeing here is the Customer 360 record for Aspen Technologies, and that there is a lot of information here. The idea is that from one touch point, you can really get all the information you need to know about this customer within a relatively short period of time. Prior to NetSuite, I always had trouble, CEO or CFO would come into my office, come over to my desk, hey, Matt, I'm going to see, a specific customer, and I don't know what's going on, and you tell me what's going on. And I'd have to go to 4 different systems. I'd have to contact 4 different managers to really get a complete view of what was going on. With NetSuite, you get it from one place. You can see all your correspondence, your communication with your customers. So under this Messages and Communications tab, you can see any email that's sent from NetSuite to a customer is captured. Also, their response back is also captured in NetSuite. So you can see their correspondence as well, giving you visibility into your conversations. Maybe it has to do with invoicing. Maybe they're past due on an invoice and you want to send an automated email notification to them reminding them that they need to pay. You'll be able to see their response here, so you get complete visibility there. With regard to activities, let's say customer success is huge. If you have a customer, maybe they're upset, you can create a task for an individual. Maybe it's a sales rep, maybe it's an account manager. Hey, take them out to dinner, make them a happy customer. All right, and you can then track the status of that task right here from the Customer 360 record. We also have user notes. So when maybe the sales rep does take them out to dinner, they can add a little a blurb in here about how it went. So you really get understanding into really the relationship you're having with your customer. Under sales, this is where finance really sees a lot of benefit. You can see everything: opportunities, transactions, sales orders, bookings, revenue arrangements. So when it comes to month end and you're trying to recognize revenue, you want to ensure that you've been paid. Maybe a customer has some collectability issues. You can see whether or not a customer has been invoiced and paid associated with the revenue contract. So just a lot of visibility here from a historical transactional perspective as well. Coming over to the financial sub-tab, you get a really nice view into the financial status of this customer. Do they have a credit limit? What are we going to do if they meet that limit? Do we want to place them on hold? You get a nice AR aging. So an AR aging associated with this customer will notify you if there's any overdue balance. So all from this Customer 360 record, you can really gain a very good understanding of your customer in a very short amount of time. Okay. So we've covered a lot today. I just wanted to backtrack here a little bit. We've talked about operational efficiency with regard to reminders, saved search, system-related queries. We've talked about financial excellence with regard to some reporting, a lot of these KPIs. We talked about multi-currency, multi-subsidiary, unlimited dimensions and segments. I wanted to finish up today by showing you a little bit of our front-end functionality, which really kind of goes under the theme of operational efficiency. So we've been looking at the back end of NetSuite, but what a lot of people don't know about NetSuite is a platform that can also be your front end. So let's say you have an e-commerce site. Maybe you're a software company that allows for customers to self-serve, like a Spotify, where you just log on and you select your $10 a month subscription, and you want that to automatically pass through to your financials and create a revenue recognition schedule and all that. NetSuite can do that with our e-commerce, our Suite Commerce functionality. So that's what you're looking at here. This is the same instance. This is a website within NetSuite, within NetSuite's e-commerce functionality. And we got a lot here. So this is just obviously the home page. This would look and feel like your website or like your business. We have shopping cart. So if you wanted to purchase products, you simply can just come over the product section, select what you want, add it to your cart, view your cart. That's what you're seeing here on the top right. If you wanted to view your account, NetSuite gives you the ability to provide login access to your customers. They can log into an account and then start to see historical transactions. They can submit support requests. Maybe they have a support ticket. They could even inquire about additional functionality. So just a lot of front-end operational efficiency from a sales and e-commerce perspective via our e-commerce product. All right. And so with that, I just want to leave you with the two themes. NetSuite is the system to run your business, not only from a financial excellence perspective, but also from an operational efficiency perspective. And with that, I'll hand it back to Anand.
Thank you, Matt. That was a very compelling presentation. I think we have a few questions, interesting questions that are coming through, and I see a lot being answered online already. But one question that I would like to address to Calvin that is coming along is in terms of implementing NetSuite. And so the question is essentially, how long did it take to implement? And there's another question which I would like to combine with that is, when a company decides to move or migrate to NetSuite, what is your recommendation on a cloud environment, essentially? What is your recommendation on where to start implementation? Finance, sales, ERP, or take everything together? Calvin?
Thank you. So how long is it going to take? So it really depends on two things. One is how much time you have dedicated to that project. And in my experiences, you need at least one person who can dedicate somewhere between 50 and 80% of their time to get the system up and running. So it can take anywhere. The quickest I've done is 2 months. The longest was actually the first one was 4 months. So I usually tell people between 2 and 4 months from the beginning to the end. Once again, it all depends on your expertise in doing not just NetSuite, but doing conversions, period. Second thing was, where do you start? So, you know, I'm a little prejudiced on the CPAs, but I do think it's the best place to start is with finance. So we always put in the GL, put in the history, put in the items, put in the customers, and then you really, when you're ready to get the rest of the organization involved, the information's already there. One of the things that I always like to do is sales last. One, because they have more questions, and that gives you a chance to work out most of the kinks before you get to their questions, and then you therefore have the answers. And so everything else kind of in between, just based on what pieces you're using in the system. But finance first, sales last.
Thanks, Calvin. I also just want to add that NetSuite also has a kind of like a proprietary, unique, transformative methodology called Suite Success. So it's essentially a customer engagement methodology that is designed with the leading practices and years of experience and implementations over different industries, and basically designed to help customers get up and running fast. And there's a lot of information about it on our website. And if you're interested, please reach out, and somebody from NetSuite can help you, walk you through the process itself. So, and I think, Calvin, back to you again, and Matt, you can potentially take this as well. There's a question around the KPIs basically that you're looking at. So what kind of KPIs, that you kind of look for essentially at NetSuite or in your company?
So we've got quite a few. I probably got about 20 of them that we actually use in the company. The biggest, the one, because we are a pre-public company, a private company with outside investors, is annual recurring revenue. That's always the biggest number on their mind. So we automatically compute that inside NetSuite. Margin on services revenue is always really big for the company. Just gross margin in general. EBITDA is a big number that they're very keen on. And after that, it's really a lot of metrics that are really used to run the business internally. Sales productivity, how long it takes us to, how much it costs us to get a new customer, how long it takes us to recruit the average deal size of a new customer. Those are some other ones that are really important to us.
Thanks, Calvin. And I just wanted to add as well, like I showed in the presentation, one of our key success pillars is a unified data model, which is the key to enabling business intelligence the way companies need it today. And you can analyze and report on your business in real time any which way you want, basically without the use of either data scientists or building complex data warehouses. And you can have any KPIs that you can build. We also provide hundreds of BI components out of the box as well. So that is one of the strengths and power of NetSuite.
Yeah, and this is Matt. Just to add to that, Calvin mentioned a few metrics that are pretty unique to the software SaaS industries, and annual recurring revenue, monthly recurring revenue, churn, all of that. NetSuite has, you were looking today, the audience was looking today at the home dashboard of a CFO. We also have another dashboard, or another tab, if you will, that's fully dedicated to SaaS metrics or key operational metrics like annual recurring revenue, monthly recurring revenue, churn, cost of customer acquisition, renewal rate, et cetera. So, you just saw a brief kind of snapshot today, given our time constraints, of just some of the KPIs on that home dashboard, but there are so much more as it relates to the operational side of the business.
Thanks for that insight, Matt. And I think we have time for a couple of other questions as well. And Calvin, back to you again and Matt, you can take this as well, is how are you handling the deferred revenue income issue?
So we have, I guess you're asking how do we track deferred revenue, or how do we manage it, or both?
Yeah, there is a question that says, how are you handling the deferred income issue automated based on the contract details?
Right. So
Yeah,
each contract. You want to go ahead, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I could speak to how NetSuite handles it, if that's all right. So we have what we call revenue recognition rules that are kind of held at the item level of detail. So when you set up your items, maybe it's a subscription item you're setting up or a perpetual item, you will assign a revenue recognition rule. Maybe it's an upfront revenue recognition schedule upon delivery for a perpetual license, or maybe for a subscription it's ratable over the time of the period. Those rules will be set up and applied to those items. So anytime one of those items is placed on a transaction, NetSuite will automatically generate a revenue recognition plan or schedule based on that rule. So if it's a $100,000 subscription to be recognized over 1 year, those terms would be captured on the sales order itself. NetSuite would automatically generate the revenue schedule based on those terms and automatically generate those monthly revenue recognition entries for you to review and approve.
Okay, so I think we have time for one more question, and I think I can take this, is around if using QuickBooks, how can the information be translated to NetSuite? So NetSuite actually provides templates which work with our standard import mechanisms of CSV. And if you go on importing options from NetSuite, from the least to the most complicated, essentially you can either type your data into NetSuite or import a spreadsheet into NetSuite, or you can use third-party tools that we provide as well. And we also provide ODBC tools as well, and including web services. So QuickBooks information can be imported into NetSuite, and you have several import options that you can use essentially. Okay. There are some other questions which I think we will leave it for later in the interest of time. I think we are almost at the end of the session, and we are not able to get to all questions. Some of them being answered online already, and I'm sure that someone from NetSuite will get back to you. So with that, I wanted to thank all the attendees for taking the time today to listen in. I also want to thank Calvin for sharing his experiences and insights and for the great presentation. And thank you, Matt, for the compelling demo. And that's it for now, everyone. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of the day.